Dear colleagues, we are excited to present here our Magyar Museum of Stolen Art project. My name is Ivanka and my partner Olena Zenchenko. We'll continue this presentation. Sorry, I'm short. Thanks. It's such an honor to be here and present Ukrainian cultural project produced on the contest and as a response to the ongoing war in Ukraine. Our project started as volunteering, but it's become possible and this week in cooperation with Linza Agency, the communication agency in Kyiv, and with financial support from the World Foundation. So, as we know, the full-scale Russian invasion that began on February 24, 2022 was being devastating not only for million Ukrainians but also for cultural heritage. And according to the estimate by the Ukrainian Minister of Culture, from February 2022 to March 2024, Russia destroyed or damaged more than 1,000 cultural heritage sites, including architectural, archaeological, historical, natural, and so on. Over 1 million museum objects have been destroyed or stolen. We will use the term stolen to mean taken from Ukrainian culture. Because Russian troops destroyed a lot of objects, whole collection during the Russian full-scale invasion of Ukraine, they purposely moved and claimed Russian Federation ownership rights, which is documented not only by Ukraine but also by the Russian side, and you can see this in our museum. Some of these stolen objects are over 1,000 years old, unique and irreplaceable. Journalists from New York Times have uncovered that Russian forces have looted tens of thousands of art pieces from Ukraine. And to address this issue, we decided to create a space where stolen works can be viewed by people around the world. That is how the idea of Museum of Stolen Art was born. This is a metaverse that exhibits digital copies of cultural heritage objects destroyed or stolen during the Russian full-scale invasion of Ukraine. We choose the metaverse format because it's the best way to combine all these objects in one exhibition. Our goal are to document the lost heritage in format that is accessible as possible to wide range of visitors, to raise international awareness and to lobby for the Ukrainian right to own these objects and maybe return it to us in future when war will be over. So we host the Museum of Stolen Art in a free browser-based metaverse platform that called Spatial. It's allowed the creation of template or custom 3D environment that can be accessed from any device without additional software. It also works for smartphones. But you need to install the additional app for this, such it is also free. It also can work with the VR headset if you have it and when it's possible. So this platform is online, and this is make exhibition available from anyone to anywhere and anytime. Every visitors can create a custom avatars for the most personalized experience, even using custom facial features. The space can host up to 50 visitors at the same time, and you can have unlimited number of visitors in premium version. Avatars can communicate with each other, so this is provides the possibility to have large-scale live events, presentation, tours, and discussion. Also, in our platforms, we have audio guides, and it's possible to see and have a tour anytime it's working for you. The platform enables different and judging instruments, especially for a young generation. This is a museum you don't need to be careful, and actually you can run around the walls and objects and touch them. It's also designed custom challenges inside, in space, such as collection features and some mini games. This tool transports how we engage with cultural heritage, extending its reach and impact and giving the most immersive experience possible. The Metaverse Museum is our response to the challenge we are facing, to present Ukrainian cultural heritage and show the stolen and destroyed artworks remains, like for raise the awareness of their return to Ukraine in future. So let's come closer to the Museum of Stolen Art itself, and Olena will show you around in our space. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope the video will work. It should. Yeah, okay, I don't know why it's not working, but anyway, like it should be automatically. Yeah, I see. Anyway, I guess it's possible without the video too. What we started with was Mariupol, because like that was the hugest event during this ongoing war, the hugest siege, the hugest fight, and the hugest devastating war crimes to Ukrainian culture. For comparison, like that was a huge city, 500 million people. So that's a third part of modern Budapest, and I googled it, the population. So the huge city, and I'm sure everybody known a lot about what was going on during the siege. So that was the most live event during the war, I would say. So I want to show a little bit more about what happened to museum institutions in the city. So there were 7 of them, and all of them were either significantly damaged or destroyed. First of all, that's Museum of Local War. It was destroyed by fire caused by shell. As a result, we lost approximately 90% of exhibits and the whole collection. And we know it from the collaborators, so you can see like what it looked like. On this photo, for example, you can see like the 10% actually were moved, transported somewhere, and we actually don't know what actually was surviving the damage, and where it's gone we don't know, and nobody posted or mentioned this information from the Russian authorities. Yeah, also you can see like some books survived, so we basically don't know anything about it. The other museum, that's Art Museum of Luigi. That was a new one, opened only in 2010, and was ruined by artillery strike. I would say more damage than ruined, because you've seen what happened to Museum of Local War. That's a bit better situation. But at some point, all of the most valuable paintings and artworks were stored in a chamber vault by the director of the museum. And when the woman, like director of that museum, was evacuated from Mariupol, the collaborator from the museum staff gave this paintings to the Russian authorities. So as you can see, that woman, I mentioned it, she was at the time director of the Museum of Local War, so she knew where the vault is, and those people around, like, they are actually representatives of Russian forces. That's happened April 2022, so the siege was ongoing, still on Azovstal, where some of Ukrainian forces get in the fight. And as you can see, so this is one of the portraits of Arkhip Kurinji, and it's just placed on the thing, so you can see like how they actually treat the artworks during this so-called evacuation. Yeah, that's how it looked like inside. Yeah, they also, like the Russian propaganda media posted this photographs, and we also posted it inside our space, museum space. And that's a really good documented case, because they actually had the journalists with themselves, so they actually filmed every single step of what was happening. And you also can see the videos with the English subtitles inside our space. So we are showing not only the objects were stolen or destroyed itself, but also evidence of what happened and how it happened. And the third museum I want to mention, that's a museum of folk life. It lost its roof during the fightings and during the siege. And over here you can see like what changed, you know, in the same space. We actually don't know where the collection gone. I mean, nobody from the people who are still in occupied Mariupol can like give us any evidence what happened. And I didn't find any information from the Russian propaganda media what happened to especially this museum, but that's the situation, so the collection is lost. So continuing to what we've done with this collection, for now we developed the full gallery of Mariupol museum exhibits or objects of cultural heritage in the metaverse spatial. So we have for now 5 different small rooms, I would say. It's a fine art, monumental art, archaeology, folk life, architecture. And also the other thing, the memorial thing, but I will explain about it a little bit after that. So talking about archaeology, I want to emphasize for some of the objects to give you a clue like what was in the Mariupol Museum, because I bet that not a lot of Ukrainians use this information, to be honest. So that's also the important work for our fellow Ukrainians, but also like one of our main goals is to raise awareness internationally about what's happened. So I will give a little bit more information about it. So our virtual space allowed us to recreate a model of medieval steppe mound with the stone statues on top. We call them kurgans. The kurgan is tall artificial mound made of wood, stone and turf briquettes. Mystical rituals and ancestor worship ceremonies were performed on their top. The Cuman stone bombs depicted on the top. That's depicted ancestors and leaders of the Cuman tribes. And their Mariupol Museum of Local Lore has 46 stone statues. Almost all of them are more than 1,000 years ago. As we know for now, like 3 of them that were placed at the entrance of the Museum of Local Lore, they are safe for now. I mean, we've seen of them on the pictures, at least. But what happened to other ones, we actually don't know. And I want to emphasize that kurgans itself are indispensable elements of cultural and historical landscapes of northern Black Sea and the Azov region, which are in danger for now. So as you can see, they are destroyed by fighting. So for example, on the left side you can see mounds in the Zaporizhia region, what they looked like in 2020 and how they look like in 2023. So I can explain like why they're doing it. So this is the step, and you are placing it. So this is the fight zone over here. So they are hiding and digging the trenches and hiding in the trenches. So if you want to see your enemy through this, you need to like climb, field to see everything. But I mean, they are ruining the historical artifacts, and our fighting line for now fulfilled really a lot of different mounds, kurgans, and this is the territory fulfilled, like this is the only place they are, and they are there for from 5,000 to 3,000 years, and they are ruining like right now as irreplaceable cultural landscapes. Talking about the fine art, I already showed you that image because I would say it's explaining a lot how Russians treat the art, how they respect and actually want it to be treated. So we know about 3 original artworks of Arkhip Krinji, that's the painter from 19th century. He is from Mariupol originally. She's Greek-born, but Russia claims it to be a Russian artist because then he moved to the capital, St. Petersburg, because that was the only way to become like an artist during the Russian Empire time. Over here you can see the painting, that's Red Sunset. In the original painting stored in the Metropolitan Museum in New York, but the Museum of Arkhip Krinji in Mariupol has the sketch of this painting, and this especially piece and 2 other etudes of Arkhip Krinji were stolen from the Arkhip Krinji Museum, transferred to Donetsk. And to be honest, we don't know where it goes then. Also, there were 2 works of Ivan Ivazovsky. It's also claimed to be a Russian artist, but he is Armenian born from Crimea. So, I mean, I wouldn't say he's Ukrainian, but he's Armenian born from Crimea. And this is 2, I mean, one is 2. Talking a little bit about the monumental art, because we are not just focusing our attention on museums, but also any art pieces from Mariupol destroyed or damaged during the siege. This is Alavorska mosaics called Boroviter. There were 2 of the Alavorska mosaics. She was a monumental artist and dissident in the Soviet era. We actually could not exhibit this art pieces during the independence because they were like stored in the old building. But anyway, they were saved there. And for now, you can see like the both pieces have holes inside and bringing attention to how they were actually done. I mean, they really could be destroyed in the next few years if there were no roof on them. And I believe it will not be, so they're in really huge danger. So 40% already lost, but then we can lose everything else too, really soon. Then the other painting, mosaic, I'm sorry, Tree of Life. And this one is especially interesting because that was really against socialistic realism. And after the murder of Alavorska in the 70s, it was destroyed by the concrete, so they just covered it in the concrete, and it was opened in 2008 by the people who were really interested in artistic legacy of Alavorska, and it's really survived. Sorry, it came back. But then we know like this lost almost 40% of its mosaic coverage too. So what we did, I hoped it will be a video. So we not only placed the photographs of the both mosaic, but we also had the metaverse installation. So they're small pieces of pixels, and they are moving. So that's the moving installation. I had a video showing you how it moves, but it doesn't work. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so we've done the Borometer and the other Tree of Life mosaics too. So both of them presented as an installation. Also, there were a lot of stained glass steel in Mariupol. That's also the Soviet legacy, but they are interested, and me personally and overall cultural community of Ukraine advocate for acknowledge Soviet art as heritage too, because there were a little questionable and really a lot of discussions about it. So stained glass steel monuments, all of them are destroyed because the siege destroyed almost all glass windows in the Mariupol, especially this one. So, but the piece itself was huge. It was the stained glass steel from Mariupol Chamber Philharmonic. That's 2-floor height. And this piece especially is interesting because it's fulfilled as a full Ukrainian motif. And not only from like eastern region or southern region, but also there were some western Ukrainian motifs. So that was really interesting for Mariupol to have, to be honest, marking the united Ukrainian identity, which we've had a lot of problems with, if you know. Saying like, okay, like southern and eastern parts are really pro-Russian, etc. Anyway, skipping this political moments, other thing I want to share with you the Mariupol drama theater tragedy. That's really well-known tragedy, and we decided like we can't actually skip this part from the Museum of Stolen Art Mariupol Gallery. That's why we created a memorial space dedicated to the tragedy. I will explain a little bit. So on March 16, 2022, the Russian forces deliberately dropped a powerful bomb on the theater. It completely destroyed the central part of the building, and about 600 people died in the rubble, mostly women, children, and elderly, but the exact number of victims is unknown, and it will remain unknown because for now we know Russians trying to rebuild the theater. So we already vanished all evidence and built in the drama theater back, and they are expected to finish their work 2025. Yeah, that's how it looked like. So what we did, yeah, I am so sorry. I don't know why it's not work, so I will explain to you what will happen to you when you visit our museum. So what we did is a facade of the museum, and under that we have like a huge crater. All surrounding of your avatar became black and white to have a like moment of peace, moment of honor to those people not survived this war crime. Other interesting thing, and I want to emphasize on this because that's really explaining a lot about what's going on and why this moving and destroying cultural heritage is not like the single event but comprehensive political act of vanishing Ukrainian identity from the occupied territories. So this is really small piece that's commemorative sign to the 500th anniversary of Ukrainian Cossacks, and this piece actually survived the siege, so it still was there when the Russian forces came and already like played their authority somehow, and they actually destroyed it at the end of 2022 after 7 months of occupation, deliberately erasing even this small thing connected to Ukraine and connected to Ukrainian identity of the occupied land. So I think that that's not the valuable object at all, but that's kind of explain us what's really going on, I think. Because, I mean, there were Ukrainian Cossacks, and that's archaeologically proven. And when you're vanishing in every single sign in the urban environment of like knowing it, it's your deliberate politics, and I'm sure about it. So there were a few stories about the different objects. I want to share with you how we researched all of it, because there are a lot of questionable parts of it, because like all of those objects are stolen or destroyed. It's occupied territory, like how it's possible, because we can't just scan the thing because we don't know where it is and how to do it. So first of all, there were lots of open source. As I mentioned already, lots of Russian authorities bring the media with them and actually documented their crimes really well, bringing a lot of propaganda inside those videos. But anyway, we have a lot of videos and photos to prove like what was stolen and how it looked like. And also we made a huge desk research, because every single museum that I mentioned destroyed or significantly damaged during the siege had their own not just books but catalogs, a lot of print material, and they are still are safe in our libraries. Given the respect to those institutions and everything we've talked about in the first session today, like libraries helped us a lot on recreated all of the objects and stuff, but not that desk research, but a lot of people who evacuated from Mariupol, for example, people who made the photographs, like the latest photographs with mosaics and different monumental art, different architecture. They also helped us a lot to provide actually truthful materials to this museum. So a little bit about our prospects. We want to expand. There are a lot of more museums, especially Kherson and Kherson region, that's really affected by Kakhovka Dam tragedy. For example, there were a lot of museums like fully flooded, And we want to make the galleries about different other regions of Ukraine affected but survived the occupation and already deoccupied it. With Kherson it will be much easier because museum authorities and institutions came right after liberation of the city, and they documented, photographed everything that happened. Almost all of those photographs you've seen when we tried to explain the context at the beginning was from Kherson. So that's well documented events, and that will be really interesting to look like how we can recreate all of those heritage. Also, Kharkiv region, Zaporizhzhia, you can see all of those. But for now, we are focusing our attention on full-scale invasion. So we are really open for any kind of a partnership, making the discussions inside our space. As we mentioned, it's open for huge live events internationally, and we'll be really interested to doing so. Over here you can see our QR code leading to our website. We are happy to connect with all of you because we believe it really helping us to not just promote the project itself, but expand it and make it influential. And thank you so much. I'm happy to answer any kind of question you have.